Param vijāyate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Total world victory of Hare Krishna. My name is Sitapati Das. This is Dana Devi.
Hare Krishna.
And this is Bhagavad-gita 2:19. Let's do this. Bhagavad-gita As It Is, the Song of God. Chapter 2, Sankhya Yoga. Text number 19. Ya enam vetti hantāraṁ, cainaṁ manyate hatam, ubhau na vijānīto, nāyaṁ hanti na hanyate. Yaha
Anyone
enam
this
vetti
knows
hantāraṁ.
the killer.
Yaha
Anyone
cha
also
enam
this
manyate
things
hatam
killed.
ubhau
Both of them, they
na
never
vijānītaḥ
acknowledge,
na
never
ayam
this
hanti
kills,
na
nor they
hanyate.
killed.
Translation. You want to do this?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, take it away.
He who thinks that the living entity is the slayer or that he is slain does not understand. One who is in knowledge knows that the self slays nor is slain. That's a bit of a mouthful thing.
Really?
Not nor is.
Yeah. I remember, I know this from the second edition translation. Do you know the second edition translation? It's something like, neither he who thinks that the living entity is the slayer, nor he who thinks that he is slain understands. So it's been reversed. Rather than he who thinks, it's neither he who thinks. And then the second part, I think, is one who is in knowledge knows that the self neither slays
Nor is slain.
nor is slain.
I think that will make more sense because this is a bit of like not, nor, is, does, not. It's like
yeah.
too much this, that, not, nor, is.
He who thinks that the living entity is the slayer, or that he is slain, does not understand. It makes sense. He who thinks that the living entity is the slayer, or that he is slain, does not understand. One who is in knowledge knows that the self slays not, nor is slain. In the second one, I think it might say, nor is he slain. Let's have a look. Neither he who thinks the living entity, the slayer, that's right. Yeah, the slayer verse. Neither he who thinks the living entity the slayer, nor he who thinks it slain, is in knowledge, for the self slays not, nor is slain. For the self slays not, nor is slain.
Isha.
It's been changed from, neither he who thinks the living entity the slayer, nor he who thinks it slain is in knowledge, for the self slays not, nor is slain. He who thinks that the living entity is the slayer, or that he is slain, does not understand. One who is in knowledge knows that the self slays not, nor is slain. Interesting. Okay, let's go to Purport. Anyone who thinks that the living entity is killing somebody, or that a living entity is being killed by others, does not know anything. One who is in the knowledge, he knows. One who is in the knowledge, he knows that nobody kills anybody and that nobody is killed by anybody. Man, that's just so much straight.
Way better. Yeah.
It
makes more sense.
It's funny because in some cases, Jayadvaita Swami's changes are de-Hayagreevizing it. So they're taking it away from what the first editor, Hayagriva, did to it closer to the manuscript. In this case, he hasn't done that. He's taken what Hayagriva's done and then reformatted it. But this here, slayer, slain, self slays, not nor slain. I mean, dude,
It's a bit too much. I
It
think.
is.
Yeah,
it's good. If it was a Slayer album, it would be a good song lyric. But Prabhupada's one is more straight up. Anyone who thinks that the living entity is killing somebody or that a living entity is being killed by others does not know anything. One who is in the knowledge, he knows that nobody kills anybody and that nobody is killed by anybody. I guess one of the things, and now I'm speculating, that Hayagriva wanted to do here was, you see, take this off the proposition of killing the body, because you are killing the body. But somebody here doesn't just mean some body, it means
the body.
Not a body. No, not a body, a living entity.
Yeah, the soul.
Not the body.
Yeah, the soul.
Let me do this. It's going to make it way more.
Mm-hmm.
Wah.
Whoa, it's a bit too much.
Yeah.
I think the other one was better. My eyes are confused. Oh,
You like it better the other way?
it's a bit too bright. Sorry.
Okay. I don't even know what I'm doing now. Okay. I turned into dark mode. That's the best I can do for now. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. The purport. Let's go to the purport.
You do?
Sure. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. When an embodied living entity is hurt by fatal weapons, it is to be known that the living entity within the body is not killed. The spirit soul is so small that it is impossible to kill him by any material weapon, as is evident from the previous verses, nor is the living entity killable because of his spiritual constitution. 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, how do I delete it? Not delete it. I'm delete it. Do this. Ooh, okay. That's not. Okay, hopefully the sound is still working. I was going to sneeze, but I didn't sneeze. Luckily. What is killed or is supposed to be killed is the body only.
Mm-hmm.
This, over to you.
Oh, this, however, does not at all encourage killing of the body. There we go. The Vedic injunction is māhiṁsyāt sarva-bhūtāni. Never commit violence to anyone. Nor does understanding that the living entity is not killed encourage animal slaughter. Killing the body of anyone without authority is abominable and is punishable by the law of the state as well as by the law of the Lord. Arjuna, however, is being engaged in killing for the principle of religion and not whimsically.
Om Vijānīto Mirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Māhiṁsyāt sarva-bhūtāni. I bet that that's been changed to nāyaṁ sarva-bhūtāni.
That is a māhiṁsyāt.
Let's have a look.
Oh,
No, it is māhiṁsyāt, but it's been separated. Māhiṁsyāt sarva-bhūtāni.
the other one? No, it was the same.
It is, but it's mashed together. Wow. Here's a complete sorry, go ahead. You want to say something?
Well, I guess we have to check the original.
Yeah, well, that one there, you would probably Google around to find it. But it might be, let's have a look. The Bhagavad-gita showing the... What? Original manuscript, anybody. Common needle with need a statement. Delete a comma between verb and object. Let's have a look. This is interesting here because this is a complete reversal. In the original Macmillan 72, it says, as is evident from the previous verses.
Mm-hmm.
However, it says in the new one, as will be evident from subsequent verses. As I was reading this, because, it says like he cannot be cut by any weapon, withered by the wind,
Yes.
burned by
Yeah.
fire. That's not previous verses. That's coming up. We haven't done that verse yet. So as I was reading that, it's impossible to kill him by any material weapon, as is evident from the previous verses.
Well,
Okay.
there, actually, we covered in the previous verses. It says what was this? Immutable or
He is not slain when the
there was
hanyate hanyamane shari.
no.
I haven't.
Indestructible, immeasurable, eternal. So yeah, it
Yeah.
does say that.
No one is able to destroy him. Indestructible. Yeah.
It is right.
Okay, so let's
So-
go.
The next verses as well will give more details about it.
So let's have a look at the original manuscript. Okay. The spirit soul is so small that it is impossible to kill him by any material weapon, as it will evident from the foregoing verses. So it's like, as it will be evident from the foregoing verses. But Hayagriva has changed it from as it will evident, because the B is missing, and he's put is. As is evident from the foregoing verses.
Mm-hmm.
Foregoing means what?
Next verses.
Previous or
No.
upcoming?
Upcoming. Next verses. Foregoing.
Yeah, just mentioned or stated, preceding. The ones before.
I mean, just mention. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah, original manuscript, as it will evident from the foregoing verses. The verses explaining that the soul cannot be killed by any material weapon begin with 223. That is a fact. Let's have a look at 223, hey? Chapter 2. Text 23. Yeah, this one. The soul can never be cut to pieces by any weapon. Unbreakable, insoluble, neither burned nor dried, everlasting, present everywhere, sarva-bhūtāni. Okay, so yeah. But it also, hang on. No. Okay. No, I think he's definitely made the wrong call here. Well, not necessarily, because there's two ideas in here.
Mm-hmm.
The spirit soul is so small,
Yeah.
right, that it's impossible to kill him by any weapon. Prabhupada's talking about two different things here. And this, okay, now I'm speculating,
Mm-hmm.
right? But anyway, we're going to go with this.
Right. Yeah.
Prabhupada's thinking about two different things here. Prabhupada's thinking about verse 223, and Srila Prabhupada is thinking about his prior purport to the sarva-bhūtāni. No, this one here. Yena sarvamidam hatam. Know that which pervades the entire body is indestructible. No one is able to destroy the imperishable soul. Now, that's what you were referring to, that he can't be destroyed by material weapons, right?
Yeah.
Because he's so small, it doesn't say he's so small in the verse, but in the purport, Prabhupada goes, hell for leather, on the soul being described as 1/10,000th part of the upper portion of the hair point in size. He's very small. Why is Prabhupada explaining that here? You missed that, class.
Yeah.
You remember this purport? Where Prabhupada talks about how the soul is the size of 1/10,000th of the tip of a hair?
I heard that.
Yeah, it's kind of famous,
Yeah.
The upper point of a hair is divided into 100 parts, and then again another 100 parts, and each part's a measurement of the dimension of the spirit soul. The reason that Prabhupada does this here is because in the Sanskrit it says yena sarvam idam hatam. But that imperishable soul know it to be widespread. This by whom? So by whom? Sarvam means all of this widespread. So it's pervading sarvam, right? And Prabhupada translates it of all of the body.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not a straight translation of it, because sarvam means everything. So impersonalists, they give their gloss on this verse that this says that the soul permeates everything, which is why Prabhupada goes, it's really tiny. How can that permeate everything? It only permeates the body. Because he talks about how it's really tiny. And then at the end of this part here, he just, he goes over and over on that part. And then he says at the end of it, only the insane man can think of this atomic soul as all-pervading Vishnu Tattva. Because impersonalists use this verse to make the claim that the soul is the all-pervading, we pervade the entire universe, which is kind of what it says. But Prabhupada says that the all, when it says it pervades all, it means it pervades all of the body.
Yeah.
Even though your soul is so tiny in there, somewhere in the heart, it pervades your entire body all the way down to your toes and your fingertips. So when Prabhupada says in 218, this is what, 217? We're on 219. So in 219, when Prabhupada says the spirit soul is so small, he's referring to his purport from 217, that it is impossible to kill him by any material weapon. He's saying it's impossible to kill the soul by any material weapon because it's so small. Of course, that's not why it's impossible to destroy the spirit soul, not because of its material dimensions. And Prabhupada, you guys are leaving now? Yep. Okay, Hari Bol.
Love you, babies.
Love you guys. Have a great night. See you tomorrow morning. The spirit soul it doesn't even have a material dimension. But, Prabhupada has explained that it has a material dimension in order to defeat the impersonalist idea. That's not why it's impossible to kill, as is evident from the previous verses. So, from the previous purport. Yeah, the verse includes the purport. So here I say Prabhupada is thinking of both verse 223 and he's thinking of his purport from 217. And so when he's written it as it will be evident from 223, cannot be, the body's hurt by fatal weapons, but the living entity is not killed. It's impossible to kill him by any material weapon. The spirit soul is so small, as is evident from the foregoing verses. So that refers back to 217, and it refers forward to 223, and the sentence has been constructed with both ideas in it, and so it's ambiguous or inconsistent. Too complex?
No.
Okay. So Hayagriva has fallen down on the side of referring back to Srila Prabhupada's 217 purport, as is evident from the previous verses. He goes with foregoing. And then Jayadvaita Swami, in his unauthorized edit, neither the category of edits is authorized nor the specific edit, has gone for the other interpretation, as will be evident from from subsequent verses. But I don't think he's taken it closer because it says foregoing. You could even say, as will be evident from the previous verses.
Could be.
Yeah, because it'll be evident to you from the previous verses if you think about them.
That has been already referred, so it's like taking you back, we touched about it in the previous verses,
Mm-hmm.
and then you will get to know more about the soul in the next verses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that should have been changed. Should have just left it. Anyway, it's an interesting thing because I've never known that this change was in here or never contemplated this. One thing that was interesting that Sridhar Srinivas said to me on that female Diksha Guru thing is he said that even the Srimad Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad-gita, those are scriptures that are for Stri Shudra. They're for the women and the Shudras, but they're not for the Antyaja. They're not for people who are outside Varnashram.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that those books, as they are, the Bhagavad-gita and the Bhagavatam, should not even be read or distributed to people outside the Varnashram system.
Mm.
But in the Bharadwaj Samhita, it says that the scriptures for those people are the commentaries on the Bhagavad-gita and the Bhagavatam.
Mm.
Yeah. So Prabhupada's commentary combined with the book constitutes the scripture for the Antyajas.
Mm.
What do you want to say about the verse and the text? The purport.
The purport. I think there was. Did we do Bhagavad-gita yesterday? I don't remember.
Day before yesterday.
I don't know when we did, but anyways.
Yeah, we did it yesterday, and we actually asked this question about if you don't die when the body is, and you're not the body, why not just go like on a killing spree?
Oh yeah, and I was saying like we have to be extremely careful of interpreting this part of the.
This part here we talked about at the end. The body itself is unimportant. Arjuna was advised to fight and sacrifice the material body for the cause of religion. It's another Slayer song lyric right there, which got changed in the second edition too. Arjuna was advised to fight and not sacrifice the cause of religion for material bodily considerations, which kind of makes it less kind of like go on a killing spree than this one, right? This one's more kind of like strap on the suicide vest and yell out, I don't know, Krishna Hu Akbar or something.
Well, it's Srila Prabhupada. He is direct. No messing around, but what's the Jajadwait? It's more like the softy and
politically correct.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to undermine the power of, then compromising words of Srila Prabhupada. Talking about the purport that you asked me.
Yeah.
Here, Srila Prabhupada is like specifically saying, killing the body of anyone without authority is abominable and is punishable by law of the state and as well by the law of the Lord. So I think before I mentioned, like, we cannot just nilly-willy, it's like, oh no, I'm gonna go, I'm not the body, and then you just do one stupid move, whatever reason, and then you commit, you destroy your body. It's not saying that. It's saying here is specifically Srila Prabhupada is saying, you have to look after your body, but you cannot just go rampant and then harm the body of other people or even animals, because killing is basically applies to every living entity, not only to the human beings.
What about plants?
Plants, well, they have a spirit, but there is also in the Bhagavad-gita will explain about plants, the level of consciousness and what we need to do in this situation. So he explains. So just tune in. We're going to cover all of that. But in this part, we have to cover actually what he's saying. We cannot cause harm to the body of another person. And this is like more direct attack to the body. Also, there are different type of like attacking, the body of the person. Could be the mind. And without authority. So what does it mean having authority to kill? Do I need to go and have a license for it, or what? It means that you need to go through all of the scriptures and understand exactly when, as a Kshatriya, specifically the killing is for the Kshatriyas, and they have to follow certain structures and systems and teachings before they can use that force. Also, even in the law, if you attack someone, or if you violate the space or the body of the person, that's punishable by law. I want to speak by Krishna, because Krishna himself said, there's violence, ahimsa, non-violence.
Mm-hmm.
And what does it mean, non-violence? It's what you say to someone that causes distress is violence. If you cut the arm of someone, you causing pain and distress into that person. That's violence. So we need to understand exactly what it means, violence. And that's punishable by Krishna himself. You cannot do this because that person is going through the process of growth and the transformation in this lifetime. Animals are going through the the evolution of different bodies until they come into the body, in a body of a human being, which they have more intelligence to discern what is right and what is wrong. And here we need to understand what actually is, what is Krishna is instructing us. I think I lost my thread. So, oops, I'm a bit tired.
Yeah,
I'm a bit tired. Anyways, and here at the end, it said not whimsically, they're like, oh, okay, the body, I'm just gonna go and chop you off. It doesn't mean like that, unless you are a psychopath, you don't have any remorse or feelings. Killing is part of could become part of a person.
Yeah. There's two halves to the purport. The first half is, and it actually switches over exactly where we switched over. There's not two paragraphs. There's only a single paragraph here. Has it been split to two paragraphs? No, it's only one. No, this is not the same purport. This is 217, 219. It's all one purport. So, paragraph. This half here is talking about how the spirit soul cannot be destroyed and is not killed when the body's killed.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second half here addresses this. So it's almost like in between here and there, you can insert in here, if you were going to write a purport, like a commentary on Prabhupada's purports,
Mm-hmm.
you do it in the style of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, where he inserts beats into the story. So you would go, nor is the living entity killable because of his spiritual constitution. What is killed or is supposed to be killed is the body only. Well, Srila Prabhupada, does that mean that I can just go out and kill anyone and it's not going to make any difference because they're not the body and the soul is indestructible? So that means I can just kill anyone and it's not even killing them, so it's no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
This, however, does not at all encourage killing of the body.
Mm-hmm.
The Vedic injunction is māhiṁsyāt sarva-bhūtāni. So again, here Srila Prabhupada is speaking to an unvoiced question,
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily an objection, but a question. Like in that other purport 217, he's arguing against some impersonalist commentary that says yena sarvam-idam hatam. This means that the spirit soul pervades the entire universe.
Mm-hmm.
And then Prabhupada's purport is literally a refutation of that statement, but the statement is not present.
Mm-hmm.
So even in Prabhupada's purports, there are missing things in there that when you study the purports, you can see that the missing piece, and the missing piece here is that exact objection.
Mm-hmm.
Writing purports on the purports would be amazing. Like a commentary on the commentary.
Yeah, it has to be done carefully and.
Well, yeah, but you can write your own, rather than writing, like editing it or writing annotations on it. This is what Garudadas was saying. People need to write commentaries on Srila Prabhupada's commentary.
Mm.
That is the tradition. That's how you do it.
Without deviating, of course, from the point that has been made.
Yeah, there's a book called Surrender Unto Me by Burijan Prabhu.
I think, yeah.
It's his commentary on Srila Prabhupada's commentary.
Awesome. Would be nice to read it.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll get it and we'll have a look at it.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for tuning in to our viewers and to everyone who watches this afterwards in the future. Feel free to leave your comments and feedback, questions. We'll get to them later and we can respond to them.
And also just a reminder, be kind to your body. You need your body.
You are not your body.
Although you know your body, you need your body because it's a vehicle. Should we say a vehicle in this lifetime to get you through whatever you need to go through?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like Krishna says to Arjuna in the Sitapati Samhita. Oh, Arjuna, you are not the body, but you might as well have a good one.
A healthy one. There we go.
Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Total world victory of Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.